Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are present here today for the previous conference for civil wars under invitation, re-invitation to bid number 2026-001. System of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 projects. This brief nine or the new government procurement act R9 we are using in compliance with Article 8 of the IRR 009 video recording of all procurement related conferences for competitive in bidding to enhance the transparency of the procurement process and in accordance with the Department Order number 06/2024. This conference will discuss, clarify, and explain the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement projects, including the questions and clarification raised by the prospective bidders. Before we proceed, I request the Secretary for a roll call and include the acknowledgement of the base present.
Good morning, everyone. Today's David Conference held July 10, 2026, along with acknowledgement present at the following. From the back members, Engineer Edwin L. Jacob, Chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Jeffrey C. Salmon, Vice Chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Leslie P. Burito, Regular Member. Engineer Lorna B. Robert, Provisional Member. And Engineer Ernesto D. Perez Jr., Provisional Member. From the back Secretariat, headed by Engineer Arthur Noel A. Lord
Present.
and Miss Girly A. Lugarde.
Present.
From the TWG, headed by Engineer Dave Herzl G. Palen.
Present.
Also with us, Engineer Orly Anthony A. Tarek,
Present.
Engineer Aladin M. Alagon, Engineer Megan M. Apolinaria,
Present.
Mr. John Carlo Alima.
Present.
Also present with us the representative from the planning section, the Engineer Donald Haide. And of course, we would like to acknowledge the prospective bidders, contractors who are attending today's conference from CTG Construction, Mr. Emmanuel Mahinay, and Mr. Bismin de la Rama. And from the CCWI, Mr. Ray B. Studio. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Since majority of the back members are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting to order. We have the basic agenda for this activity through audiovisual presentation.
Agenda 1. Brief presentation or explanation of the following. A. Basic contract data. A1. Contract description. A2. ABC. A3. Duration. A4. Other project details. B. Requirements of bidding documents. B1. Instructions to bidders. B2. General condition of contract. B3. Special conditions of contract. B4. Specifications. B5. Drawings. B6. Bill of quantities. And B7. GPPB standard forms for RA 12009. C. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1. Technical component of the bid. 1A. Valid and updated PhilJEP certificate of registration, platinum membership. 1B. PCAB license and registration. 1C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. 1D. Single largest completed contract, SLCC. 1E. Net financial contracting capacity, computation, and statement of total assets and liabilities. 1F. Joint venture agreement if applicable. 1G. Bid security. 1H. minimum materials testing equipment as per DEO 11 Series 2017. 1I, project requirements, organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' key personnel, list of major equipment, omnibus sworn statement, ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement in compliance to Department Order Number 110 Series of 2024, 1J, sworn disclosure of relations, 1K, declaration of beneficial ownership. 2. Financial component of the bid. 2A, bid form. 2B, bid prices in the bill of quantities. 2C, detailed estimates including summary sheet indicating unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. And 2D, cash flow by quarter. D, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, primary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. 2. Questions or comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. 3. Other matters. 3A. Section 99. Imposition of suspension of the IRR of RA 12009. 3B. Section 100. Imposition of blacklisting of the IRR of RA 12009. 3C. Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025. 3D. Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024. 3E. Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024. 4. Summary of proceedings including supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued.
Any motion to adopt this agenda? I move to adopt the present agenda.
I second the motion.
It's been moved by Engineer Salmon and seconded by Engineer Budito. And with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. The first in order of business is the explanation of the basic contract data, including contract description, ABC and duration, and this will be presented to us by Engineer TV and Rolando from the planning and design section.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So for the first project, the name of contract is Construction of Multipurpose Building Covered Court with Bleacher, Camanlangan National High School, 34180, Barangay, Camanlangan, Bataan, Davao de Oro. With the contract ID number 26LI0021 and location is in Davao de Oro. The scope of works is the construction of covered court with bleacher, including reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, electrical works, and other related works. The approved budget for the contract is 7,920,000 pesos, and the source of fund is FY 2026 GAA-CSSP-BIP. The contract duration is 144 calendar days, including 63 unworkable days. And the size range is small b, and the license category is C&D, and the cost of B documents is 10,000 pesos. And for the second project, the name of contract is Construction of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay Salvacion, Monkayo, Davao de Oro, 126.084452 degrees, 7.824032 degrees. The contract ID number is 26LI0022 and the location is in Davao de Oro. The scope of works is construction of covered court, including reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, electrical works, and other related works. The approved budget for the contract is 6,930,000, and the source of fund is FY 2026 GAA-CSSP-BIP. The contract duration is 120 calendar days, including 53 unworkable days, and the size range is small b, license category is C&D, and the cost of B documents is 10,000 pesos. And for the third project, the name of contract is Construction of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay San Jose, Montevista, Davao de Oro. Open parenthesis 125.9958996 degrees, 7.703996 degrees, close parenthesis. The contract ID number is 26LI0023 and the location is in Davao de Oro. The scope of works is construction of covered court, including reinforced concrete works, finishing and other civil works, electrical works, and other related works. The approved budget for the contract is 6,930,000 pesos. The source of fund is FY 2026 JAA-CSSP-BIP. The contract duration is 120 calendar days, including 53 unworkable days. The size range is small b, the license category is C and D, and the cost of B documents is 10,000 pesos.
Good morning, everyone. For report project with the name of contract, Bantacan-Magsaysay Road in support of the coconut, rice, and banana plantation, Station 1 plus 512 to Station 1 plus 760, New Bataan, Davao de Oro, with a contract ID number 26LI0024. Location is at Davao de Oro, with scope of works, completing of road with a width of 6.7 meters and thickness of 280 millimeters. Station 1 plus 512 to Station 1 plus 760 for a total of 248 meters. It includes embankment from barrow, removal of actual structures and obstructions, installation of RCPC/4, construction of minor drainage structure, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. With an approved budget for the contract of 4,709,880 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 GAA, with a contract duration of 62 calendar days, including 35 workable days. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, with a cost of B documents of 5,000 pesos. For the fifth project, the name of contract, Magsaysay-Siocon-Compostela Road, in support of the rice, coconut, banana, and oil palm production, Station 0 plus 000 to Station 0 plus 316, Compostela, Davao de Oro, with a contract ID number of 26LI0025. Location, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of concrete road with a width of 6.7 meters and thickness of 218 millimeters. Station 0 plus 00 to Station 0 plus 316 for a total length of 316 meters. It includes structure excavation, foundation fill, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,709,880 pesos, with a source of fund FY 2026 GAA, with a contract duration of 61 calendar days, including 34 unworkable days. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, and cost of the documents of 5,000 pesos. For the sixth project, name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along Nabunturan Maragusan Road at kilometer 1445 plus 135 to kilometer 1446 plus 672 and kilometer 1448 plus 020 to 1448 plus 936 with a contract ID number of 26LI0052, location New Bataan, Davao de Oro. The scope of works, installation of double-R solar LED roadway lighting at section 1, kilometer 1445 plus 135, kilometer 1446 plus 672 as per idea, and kilometer 1445 plus 064 to kilometer 1446 plus 640 as per plan, with a total of 68 units. For section 2, kilometer 1448 plus 020 to kilometer 1448 plus 906 as per idea, and kilometer 1448 plus 020 to kilometer 1448 plus 827 as per plan, with 29 units. It also includes construction of pedestal, 38 units, roadway excavation, removal and restoration of PCCP, and embankment from excavation, with an approved budget for the contract of 11,524,800 pesos under the source of fund FY 2026 GAA, with a contract duration of 92 calendar days, including 41 unworkable days. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, with a cost of the documents of 35,000 pesos. For the seventh project, the name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, road relighting along Montevista, Compostela, Mati Boundary Road at kilometer 1432 plus 540 to kilometer 1435 plus 145 with a contract ID number 26LI 0058. Location, New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, installation of solar LED road relighting at kilometer 1432 plus 540 to kilometer 1435 plus 145 as per RDA, and kilometer 1432 plus 540 to 1435 plus 145 as per plan with 95 units. It also includes construction of pedestal of 121 units, removal and restoration of PCCP, installation of road signs, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings with an approved budget of the contract 13,674,920 pesos. Source of fund FY 2026 GAA with a contract duration of 153 calendar days, 65 unworkable days. Size range small d, license category C and D, and cost of the documents at 35,000 pesos. For the eighth project, the name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along Montevista, Compostela, Mati Boundary Road, kilometer 1432 plus 240, kilometer 1432 plus 540, with a contract ID number of 26LI0054. Location, New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, installation of double-arm solar LED roadway lighting at kilometer 1432 plus 240, kilometer 1432 plus 540 as per RDA, and 1432 plus 240, kilometer 1432 plus 540 as per plan with 15 units. It also includes construction of pedestal of 15 units, removal of structures and obstruction, installation of road sign, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic rumble strips with an approved budget for the contract of 2,258,900 pesos. Source of fund FY 2026 GAA with a contract duration of 92 calendar days, including 70 unworkable days. Size range small d, license category C and D, and cost of the documents 5,000 pesos. For the ninth project, the name of contract of carriageway improvement, construction of traffic island, Montevista, Compostela, Mati Boundary Road, kilometer 1432 plus 240, kilometer 1435 plus 145, with a contract ID number of 26LI0055. Location, New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of traffic island at kilometer 1432 plus 240 to kilometer 1435 plus 145 as per RDA, and kilometer 1432 plus 240 to kilometer 1435 plus 145 as per plan, with a total area of 2,905 square meters. Construction of paved shoulder with 150 millimeters paved. Kilometer 1432 plus 240 to kilometer 1432 plus 273 with a total length of 32 meters on both sides. Kilometer 1432 plus 273 to kilometer 1432 plus 347 with a total of 74 meters at left side. 1432 plus 827 kilometer 1433 plus 042 total length of 250 meters at right side, and kilometer 1432 plus 074 kilometer 1433 plus 100 with a length of 26 meters at right side. It also includes roadway excavation, subgrade preparation, application of pavement marking, pre-mixed reflectorized, installation of hazard marker, and installation of delineators. Approved budget for the contract is 14,055,160 pesos. Source of fund FY 2026 GAA with a contract duration of 183 calendar days, including 93 unworkable days. Size range small d, license category C and D, and cost of the documents at 25,000 pesos. For the 10th and the last project, name of contract, off-bridgeway improvement, construction of traffic island sa Bunturan-Maragusan Road, kilometer 1445 plus 135, kilometer 1446 plus 672, kilometer 1448 plus 020, kilometer 1448 plus 906, with a contract ID number of 26LI0056. Location, Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of traffic island for section 1, kilometer 1445 plus 135, to kilometer 1446 plus 672 as per RVIA, and kilometer 1445 plus 064, kilometer 1446 plus 642 as per plan with 68 units. For section 2, kilometer 1448 plus 020 to kilometer 1448 plus 906 as per RVIA, and kilometer 1448 plus 020 to kilometer 1448 plus 827 as per plan with 29 units. Construction of paved shoulder of 150 millimeters thick, both sides at kilometer 1445 plus 135 to kilometer 1445 plus 592 as per RVIA, as kilometer 1445 plus 064 to kilometer 1445 plus 521 as per plan, with a length of 457 meters. It includes construction of pedestal of 59 units, roadway excavation, removal and restoration of PCCP, structure excavation, embankment and excavation, construction of concrete curb cast in place, installation of hazard markers, and application of reflectorized traffic pavement markings with an approved budget for the contract of 14,011,060 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 PLA, with a contract duration of 122 calendar days, including 46 unworkable days. Size range, small d, license category C and D, and cost of the documents of 25,000 pesos. That's all.
We thank you, Engineer Rudy and Apolinaria, for the explanation of the projects to be procured by the interested bidders. Next in the order of business is the brief explanation of the requirements of bidding documents. The documents to be submitted by the bidders and other reminders in the preparation and submission through audiovisual presentation.
To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. 1. Instructions to bidders. 2. Bid data sheet. 3. General conditions of the contract. 4. Special conditions of the contract. 5. Bill of quantities. 6. Drawings and specification. 7. Securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instructions to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids.
The following documents should be included by interested bidders in their bids. 1. Technical component of the bid. 1A. Valid and updated PhilJEPS certificate of registration, platinum membership. 1B. PCAB license and registration. 1C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. 1D. Single largest completed contract, or SLCC. 1E. Net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC computation, and statement of total asset and liabilities. 1F. Joint venture agreement, if applicable. Eligibility documents to be updated. 1G. Bid security. 1H, minimum materials testing equipment as per DEO 11 series of 2017. 1I, project requirements, organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' key personnel, list of major equipment, omnibus sworn statement in prescribed format in accordance to GPPB Resolution number 03-2025, ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement in compliance to Department Order number 110 series of 2024, 1J, sworn disclosure of relations, 1K, declaration of beneficial ownership, 2, financial component of the bid, 2A, bid form in prescribed format in accordance to GPPB Resolution number 03-2025, 2B, bid prices in the bill of quantities, 2C, detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and 2D, cash flow by quarter.
All of the above statements shall include all information required in the PBDs prescribed by the GPPB. Please be reminded that the following documents, omnibus sworn statement, bid form, and bid securing declaration, if you opted to this type of bid security, should be in standard format as per guidelines of Government Procurement Policy Board, or GPPB, in their resolution number 03-2025. Kindly check the format of the documents you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for using unprescribed format.
Bidders should submit their documents using a 2-envelope system. It is recommended to fasten the documents only at the top, rather than soft or hard binding them. Each document must be clearly ear tagged and labeled with the name of the document, rather than the number or letter listed in the checklist. There should be 3 copies of these documents, 2 sets of original copies of your documents, the original 1 and original 2, and 1 photocopy of your documents, the copy 1. The original 1 consists the first set of original copy of the technical component of the bid that should be placed in 1 envelope, and the first set of original copy of the financial component of the bid that should be placed in a separate envelope. These envelopes must be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component, respectively. Both labeled envelopes should then be sealed in a 1 larger envelope labeled as original 1 of the bid. The same sealing process applies to the remaining original 2 and copy 1. Finally, the 2 original copies and the copy 1 of the bid should then be placed in a 1 final envelope and appropriately labeled according to the instructions in the bidding documents. Bidders are encouraged to read Section 18 of the Instructions to Bidders, page 32, to fully understand the sealing and marking of bids. Follow the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements uploaded with the bidding documents for the contract to be bid out. Absence of any required document shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document and non-compliance of the bid. Affix initial on all pages of the documents. The initial affirms the authenticity of the pages, that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents.
Submit your bids personally here in our office, or you have also the option to submit your bids electronically. Preparation of technical and financial documents of your bids are outlined in Department Order number 87, series of 2020. Sealing and marking of bids is also outlined on the said department order. Interested bidders are advised to read these in case your choice is electronic submission. Submit electronic bids to electronicbids_Davao de Oro 2 at DPWH.gov.ph. Please be reminded that your key personnel should only occupy 1 position in your organizational chart. Duplication of functions of your personnel will be grounds for disqualification pursuant to the principle of Item 6 under Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Additionally, prospective bidders' key personnel shall submit copies of their valid and updated PRC licenses and/or accreditation, whichever is applicable.
Kindly also indicate the tax identification numbers since this will be used in the award of contract. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, write legibly. Also, if you are offering a discount in your bid form, please indicate specifically the methodology as to where or which pay item the discount will take effect. Absence of methodology, original amount will prevail. Discrepancies between bid prices in words and figures, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing or filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, such as in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. Additional instructions on the purchase of bidding documents, if submitting through authorized representative, it must be accompanied by a notarized special power of attorney for sole proprietorship, board or partnership, or joint venture resolution with secretary's certificate for corporation or partnership or joint venture or cooperative. The authorized representative shall be required to present a valid government ID and valid company ID. Prospective bidders shall attach to the technical component of the bidding documents a sworn disclosure of relations, declaration of beneficial ownership, and general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, clearly identifying the natural person who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual arrangements, or other means of control. This requirement is in compliance to Rule 15, Disclosure of Relations, Section 81 and Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009. Sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership are a separate document. Sample forms of these documents are available and downloadable free of charge from the PhilJeps and DPWH websites. In compliance to the memorandum issued by Secretary Vivencio B. Dizon, dated February 24th, 2026, item numbers 1, 2, and 3 states that 1. Considering that the current Omnibus Sworn Statement, OSS, already incorporates sworn declarations relating to beneficial ownership disclosure, and in order to streamline documentary requirements and avoid duplication of sworn submissions, the separate submission of the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, Annex A, shall no longer be required. 2. In lieu thereof, disclosure of beneficial ownership shall be established through submission of the latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly filed with and stamped received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. This requirement shall be specified in the documents comprising the bid as mentioned in item number 4 hereof, and shall be submitted by the bidders in its bid. 3. The requirement shall apply only to the entities enumerated under Section 82 of the IRR, namely legal entities such as corporations, partnerships, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. The back secretariat will not be responsible for the failure of the prospective bidders in paying bidding document on time before the bid dropping due to late arrival and delayed processing of the order of payment. Loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released or issued is not the responsibility of the back secretariat. Always check your documents before submitting the same to our end to avoid disqualification of your firm.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation. To us, especially in accomplishing or filling out the BOQ, if you opt to computerize the preparation of your BOQ, please use the font style Tahoma and font size 11. This is to make your proposal readable or legible. Also, if your detailed estimates or detailed cost estimates, kindly explicitly outline or indicate the OCN, contractors, bracket, as well as the VAT, since they will be the essential during contract implementation, if there are need for operation order. We would also like to remind the bidders to submit pre-names through email prior to the bidding date. However, only one of these pre-names will be able to enter our premises during the bidding activity. Additionally, bidders are requested to bring the hard copy of the letter of intent to participate the purchase bid documents during the bidding day. However, only the signatory who cancel and or revise this duly signed later. Okay. Next in the order of business is the explanation of the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, written evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing project and award. This will be discussed again through audiovisual presentation.
The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 52 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA 12009 and the Contract Profile based in Department Order Number 164, Series of 2025, Revised Guidelines for the Determination of Major and Similar Categories of Work. All prospective bidders should have a valid and updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents, if applicable. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in compliance to Section 59 of the IRR of RA 12009. The BAC shall open the first bid envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. After opening the first envelope, the BAC shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility processing through the Civil Works application, or CWA, and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. If a bidder submitted the required document, it shall be rated passed for that particular requirement. In this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Bidders who failed in the contractor profile eligibility process due to their outdated eligibility documents in Civil Works application, or CWA, shall undergo manual eligibility check based on the submitted eligibility documents. If found to be eligible and at the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will also be opened. However, the committee will conduct second electronic eligibility check after updating the eligibility records of the bidder through the contractor's profile application or through Procurement Service DPWH Central Office. Result of the latest electronic eligibility processing shall prevail over the manual eligibility evaluation. All opened financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids in accordance to Section 61 of the IRR of RA 12009 using non-discretionary criteria in considering the 1. Completeness of the bid and 2. Arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors to identify the lowest calculated bid, LCB. The lowest calculated bid, LCB, shall undergo post-qualification in accordance to Section 63 of the IRR of RA 12009 in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid ranked during bid evaluation stage. The criteria for the award is lowest calculated responsive bid, LCRB. Bidders should submit a comprehensive and accurate statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. The form is downloadable. RA 12009 is strict regarding misrepresentation.
failure to include even one ongoing contract, even if it is small or not yet started, is considered a failed bid due to incomplete documentation and subject to post-disqualification. Single largest completed contract, SLCC, shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPAS. Prospective bidders are reminded that the committee shall conduct a verification of all existing contracts in accordance to DPWH Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. Any firm found to have incurred negative slippage or currently being imposed with liquidated damages as defined by the order must resolve these issues prior to the conclusion of the post-qualification period. Failure to settle such findings will be grounds for post-disqualification. Also, all requirements set forth in the bidding documents and the instructions relayed during this conference should be addressed and be well taken care of to avoid disqualification or post-disqualification. The BAC, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DEO number 127, series of 2018. As part of the post-qualification, the equipment verification team will conduct an inspection on the verification of the equipment pledged by the bidder, including other documents to be evaluated.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. We are now through with Agenda 1 and its subsection. We will proceed to Agenda 2, the questions, comments from the leaders, and replies of the bank and other representatives of procuring entity. Okay, questions, any questions? Any questions?
Especially the,
Um,
I have noticed that there are only two prospective bidders attending this pre-bid conference. Now, or other contractors interested to participate in the bidding can also join the contract without attending pre-bid conference.
yes, sir. It's the about what?
Sir, what do you mean by two prospective bidders?
No, there are only two attending the no,
Lahi po ka nga po answer.
from
Ay, sir, observer.
Observer, sir.
Observer.
now in the attendance list of attendance sa attendance karon ba nga gipirmahan attend.
Hindi ko na-notice yung attendance.
There are only two prospective bidders.
Hindi ikaw observer. Observer yun, sir. About sa mga nasa online
So,
kasi yung mga nasa online, sir.
In case in the future there are still projects to be bidded, so we don't need to come to attend the pre-bid.
Sa at least yung mas follow.
You can watch the live, sir.
Live.
We have live via YouTube.
YouTube.
So this pre-bid conference is sponsored live stream on YouTube.
Pwede kayo sa
Clarification ng
Okay. Tama. Likod naman yun, sir. Parang kaya yung iba.
there are agencies that if you are not attending the pre-bid conference, you are automatically disqualified.
No. Sir. Not disqualified.
And then also, there are contractors that there are agencies that requires inspection, the site inspection. So if you have not secured a certificate of site inspection from the agency, you are disqualified to attend the bidding. And then another one also is this ISO.
May ISO talaga, sir.
ISO. They said that ISO below this small, not necessary. But for the amount bigger than 30 million, that's where the ISO comes in.
Mapirma lang po, sir. We continue this mga concern about that.
The department order regarding the ISO sir will be discussed.
Discuss
The other matters.
other matters, sir. Okay, discuss, sir.
It will be played by or this one.
This one, this is
That's all. Thank you.
other,
From our live stream, sir.
Okay. If there are no further questions, we'll now move on to other matters. The discussions of the following. Section 99, imposition of suspension of the IRR of RA 12009. Section 100, imposition of blacklisting of the IRR of RA 12009, as well as the additional reminders and the guidelines for prospective bidders. Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025. Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024. Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024. And will be presented to be an audiovisual presentation.
Other matters. Section 99, imposition of suspension. The Hope shall impose the penalty of suspension for 1 year for the first offense, and suspension of 2 years for the second offense, for any of the following offenses. 99.1. During procurement. A. Causing the delay, without justifiable cause, of the screening for eligibility, opening of bids, evaluation and post-evaluation of bids, and awarding of contracts. B. Refusing to clarify or validate in writing its bid during post-qualification within a period of 7 calendar days from receipt of the request for clarification. C. Withdrawing a bid or refusing to accept an award, or refusing or failing to enter into contract with the procuring entity without justifiable cause after the approval of the Hope for having been the declared LCRB, MEARB, or HRRB, as the case may be. D. Refusing or failing to post the required performance security within the prescribed time. Or E. For the renewal of contracts for regular and recurring services, refusal of the service provider to accept the notice of renewal, or failure to submit its updated documentary requirements for the renewal of contract without any justifiable reason. 99.2. During contract implementation. A. Delivering goods with unsatisfactory or inferior quality as may be provided in the contract. B. Poor performance by the consultant. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Defective design resulting in substantial corrective works in design and or construction. 2. Failure to deliver critical output due to the fault or negligence of the consultant. 3. Specifying materials which are inappropriate, substandard, or way above acceptable standards. Or 4. Allowing defective workmanship or works by the winning bidder being supervised by the consultant. C. Poor performance by the winning bidder or unsatisfactory quality and or progress of work. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Negative slippage of 15% and above within the critical path of the project due entirely to the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Or 2. Non-compliance of the materials and workmanship with the approved specifications arising from the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited. Section 100. Imposition of blacklisting. The Hope may impose the penalty of blacklisting consisting of 1 year prohibition for the first offense, or 2 years prohibition for the second offense for any of the following offenses. 100.1. During procurement or contract implementation. A. commission of 3 or more of any of the acts imposed with suspension as provided under Section 99 of the IRR of RA 12009. B. The use of force, fraudulent machinations, coercion, undue influence or pressure on any member of the BAC or any officer or employee of the procuring entity to take a particular action for its own favor or gain, or to the advantage of a particular bidder. Or C. In case it is determined prima facie that the winning bidder has engaged before or during the implementation of the contract in the following unlawful deeds and behaviors relative to contract acquisition and implementation. 1. Corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices. 2. Drawing up or using forged documents. Or 3. Using adulterated materials, means, or methods, or engaging in production contrary to rules of science or trade.
100.2. During procurement. A. Collusion between 2 or more bidders and submitting different bids as if they were bona fide, when they knew that one or more of them was so much higher than the other that it could not be honestly accepted, and that the contract will surely be awarded to the prearranged lowest bid. B. Malicious submission of different bids through 2 or more persons, corporations, partnerships, or any other business entity in which it has interest, to create the appearance of competition that does not in fact exist, so as to be declared as the winning bidder. C. Entering into an agreement with other bidders which call upon one to refrain from bidding for procurement contracts, or which call for withdrawal of bids already submitted, or which are otherwise intended to secure an undue advantage to any of the bidders. D. Failure to faithfully disclose its relationship, regardless of the time of its discovery, with the Hope, members of the BAC, the TWG and the BAC Secretariat, the head of the PMO or the end user or implementing unit, and the project consultants of the procuring entity or of the procurement agent, whichever is applicable, by consanguinity or affinity up to the 3rd civil degree pursuant to Section 81 of this IRR of RA 12009. E. Submission of beneficial ownership information containing false entries. F. Using the name of another for purposes of participating in any procurement activity. G. Submission of eligibility requirements and bids containing false information or falsified documents, or the concealment of such information that will materially alter the outcome of eligibility screening or any stage of the procurement. H. Unauthorized access of the contents of any bid submitted to the procuring entity before the opening of bids. I. Engaging in any documented, unsolicited attempt to unduly influence the outcome of the bidding. Or J. Employing schemes which stifle or suppress any procurement activity.
100.3. During contract implementation. A. Assigning or subcontracting the contract or any part thereof, or substituting key personnel named in the proposal without prior written approval by the procuring entity. Willful or deliberate abandonment or non-performance of the project or contract by the winning bidder, resulting in substantial breach thereof without lawful and or just cause. Or C. Termination of the contract due to the default or unlawful acts of the supplier, contractor, or consultant. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited. Important reminders. Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025. Guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants, project engineer. In view of the smooth transition towards the full implementation on assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the implementation of DPWH projects, full implementation of this order, where only accredited project engineers of the contractors and consultants may be assigned to supervise all DPWH projects, shall be imposed effective January 1, 2026. Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024, Implementation of ISO 9001-2015 Certification Requirement for Large A.
medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. The department shall now mandate ISO 9001:2015 certification as part of the project requirements for contractors involved in the procurement of infrastructure projects. This requirement applies to bidders classified under the following Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board (PCAB) size range and are participating in the department's procurement of infrastructure projects with approved budget for the contract ABC range to wit. For PCAB size range, large A, allowable range of contract cost, more than 300 million but less than 450 million, effectivity January 1, 2025. For PCAB size range, medium B, allowable range of contract cost, more than 150 million but less than 300 million, effectivity July 1, 2025. For PCAB size range, medium A, allowable range of contract cost, more than 30 million but less than 150 million, effectivity January 1, 2026. Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024. Guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of Construction Safety and Health Program, CSHP, for DPWH infrastructure projects. In line with the policies established by the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, and the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE, on the processing and approval of Construction Safety and Health Program for the DPWH infrastructure projects, herein are the guidelines for the preparation, submission, evaluation, and approval of CSHPs, including the corresponding reporting system for all DPWH implemented infrastructure projects. This department order aims to harmonize provisions from various issuances relative to the processing of the CSHPs for DPWH, particularly the Joint Memorandum of Agreement between the DPWH and DOLE as signed on October 7, 2024. Guidelines for the preparation, submission, evaluation, and approval of CSHP. In the issuance of the Notice of Award, NOAA, or Letter of Acceptance, as for the case of foreign assisted projects, the head of the DPWH implementing office shall require the winning bidder to submit the approved CSHP using the template recommended by DOLE. The submission for approval of CSHP shall include the application form for the evaluation or processing and other supporting documents as per DOLE's latest issued format and checklist of requirements in the application of CSHP. The DPWH implementing office shall only receive CSHP applications with complete documents. Any incomplete applications shall not be received, specifying the lacking documents. The submitted CSHP and supporting documents shall be evaluated by qualified CSHP evaluators duly supervised by the implementing office's CSHP focal person. It shall be evaluated based on the provisions of RA number 11058 and its IRR and other related issuances of DOLE using the evaluation form prescribed by DOLE. If found in order, the CSHP focal person shall recommend the approval of the CSHP to the head of the implementing office. Else, the CSHP shall be immediately returned to the contractor, citing specific deficiencies. The head of the implementing office, upon the recommendation of the CSHP focal person, shall approve the CSHP not later than 7 calendar days from the issuance of the notice of award to the contractor. The contractor shall submit the CSHP not later than 3 calendar days from the issuance of notice of award to give time for its evaluation and approval. The DPWH approved CSHP is a requirement for the processing and approval of the contract agreement. Moreover, no claims by the contractor, advance payment, or first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH approved CSHP. The DPWH will only approve CSHPs through a form prescribed by DOLE, if found in order. The DPWH projects shall not be implemented without the approved Construction Safety and Health Program by the head of the DPWH implementing office. Upon the approval of the CSHP,
and during the contract setup, the implementing office's assigned monitoring engineer shall input the data necessary in the CSHP module of the Project and Contract Management Application, or PCMA. Notice to all contractors dated November 19th, 2025, by the Secretary of Department of Public Works and Highways, Vivencio B. Dizon. Pursuant to Section 82 and Section 20.2.9.1 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations, IRR, of Republic Act Number 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, and consistent with PhilJEP's Advisory Number 2025-007, copy attached as Annex A. The Department hereby directs all contractors or corporations enrolled or applying for enrollment or updating in the Civil Works Application, CWA, to submit their latest General Information Sheet, GIS, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and reflecting the Beneficial Ownership Information, BOI. The submission of the updated GIS reflecting the BOI is required to ensure compliance with transparency and accountability provisions under the NGPA and to maintain current and accurate contractor records in the department's database. Contractors are likewise reminded to submit an updated GIS annually or every time changes or amendments are made and filed with the SEC to ensure their information remains valid and consistent with official records.
Okay, with additional reminders for the guidelines for the prospective bidders, Secretary of Facility for additional reminders. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is in relation to the memorandum issued by Regional Director of DPWH Regional Office 11 on JPB Cordon. The subject is for the solar light quality assurance requirements. To ensure the quality, reliability, and compliance of materials being installed, solar lamp, bulb, and accessories under the Memorandum of Agreement with the end user, you are hereby directed to advise, instruct all contractor suppliers of the DPWH to submit the following documents and requirements prior to installation and upon project completion. So number 1, Department of Energy DOE Test Certificate. Certification confirming compliance of solar components with applicable performance standards. Letter B, local technical support capability. Availability of a local technician team within the area capable of providing installation, supervision, commissioning, troubleshooting, and maintenance services within a response time of 48 to 72 hours. Letter C, product certification. Philippine Standard PS Quality Mark or Import Commodity Clearance ICC issued by BTI BPS for all applicable components. Warranty certificate. Minimum warranty period of 6 years covering major components, solar panel, battery, lead luminaire, and controller, including complete company details, name, address, and contact information. Letter E, project reference or track record requirement. The contractor supplier must submit a list of completed solar street light lighting projects within a minimum operational history of at least 2 years. So for strict compliance, failure of contractor supplier to comply with the above requirements shall be grounds for non-acceptance of materials and or suspension of installation activities. Signed, UB Cordon. So that's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Lord. Thank you. Okay, to all
all prospective bidders, please carefully read all instructions and ensure full compliance to avoid any violation that could result a penalty, and for a more detailed instructions and comprehensive guidelines on the key reminders briefly mentioned. Bidders are strongly encouraged to review the relevant department orders thoroughly, and these documents are available for viewing and downloading on the DPWH website. Now we'll proceed to the last agenda, the summary proceeding, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued and presented by Engineer Leslie Dudito.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All the needed information were discussed and explained. I would like to remind the prospective leaders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PELGEF's websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids, for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereafter. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids on or before July 23, 2026, 10 p.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be immediately right after the bid submission deadline. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. All of the business in agenda will already taken into consideration. Okay. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
I second the motion. Moved by Engineer Rubin and seconded by Engineer Pero, and with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.